start with what shouldn't exist. A city with no land, no farms, no forests, no fresh water, built on wooden posts hammered into the mud of a malaria lagoon by refugees with nothing left to lose. That city became the richest place in Europe. It ran the Mediterranean for centuries, redirected a crusade to conquer an empire, minted the continent's most trusted coin, and kept a republic alive for 1100 years, longer than Rome's. This is Venice, the state that worked like a company, where the product was trade and the shareholders wore robes. Here's how the machine actually worked. Venice was founded by people running away. As the Roman world collapsed, wave after wave of invaders burned the mainland cities, and their people fled into the one place cavalry cannot go: a lagoon. Mudflats, reeds, brackish water. The refugees drove oak piles into the mud, floored them with planks, and built. Their first industries were the humblest possible: salt, evaporated in pans, and fish. But salt was money. Everyone needs it, forever. By 697, tradition says, the scattered island communities elected their first duke. In dialect, a Doge. The state on stilts had begun. Every republic fears one thing: a leader who won't leave. Venice solved it with a masterpiece of paranoia. The Doge was elected for life, draped in gold, paraded like a king, and bound like a prisoner. Each new Doge signed a promissione, a contract listing exactly what he could not do: not open his own mail, not meet foreign envoys alone, not let his sons take office. And the election itself became the strangest in history. From 1268, 10 rounds of alternating lottery and vote, 30 electors drawn by lot, reduced by lot to 9, who elect 40, reduced to 12, a process designed so no family could rig it. Venice wanted a manager and made absolutely sure that's all it got. Around the caged Doge, Venice built rings of committees. The Great Council, every adult male of the noble families, more than 1,000 men, was the base. It voted the officers. From it came the Senate, which ran trade and war, the Signoria, the Cabinet, and the feared Council of Ten, keeper of state security. In 1297 came the famous lockdown, the Serrata. Membership of the Great Council was closed to the families already in it, their names inscribed in the Golden Book. Venice became an aristocracy of merchants, a republic, but a members-only one. In exchange, those families gave their sons to the state like a family firm, one to the fleet, one to the counting house, one to the Senate. Venice never wanted land, it wanted harbors. Its empire, the Stato di Mare, was a necklace of islands and ports down the Adriatic and across the Aegean: Istria, Dalmatia, Corfu, Crete, later Cyprus. Each one a watering stop, a naval base, a warehouse. And the trade itself was state-run at the core. The Republic owned great merchant galleys and auctioned their routes to noble syndicates each season. Convoys called mood sailing on government schedule to Alexandria, Beirut, Bruges. Private risk, public rails. The state was the shipping line. The nobles were the freight customers. At the heart of it all stood the arsenal, the largest industrial complex in the world before the Industrial Revolution. Behind its walls, 16,000 workers. The arsenalotti built and repaired the fleet on what can only be called an assembly line. Standardized hulls, interchangeable fittings, rope walks a quarter-mile long, and canals moving each galley from station to station as it was fitted out. In a crisis, the arsenal could reportedly finish a galley in a day. Dante toured it and put its boiling pitch into the inferno. 5 centuries before Detroit, Venice had the factory. Venice's deepest inventions were financial. The colleganza, a contract where one partner stayed home and put up the money, another sailed and did the work. Profits split. Venture capital, 700 years early, letting even modest savers buy a share of a voyage. At Rialto, bankers moved money between accounts by pen, giro banking, no coins needed. The state borrowed from its own citizens through forced loans that paid interest and could be traded, a public debt market, the ancestor of the bond. And from 1284, the mint struck the ducat, gold so reliably pure that for 500 years, from London to Alexandria, the ducat was simply what money meant. 1204 is the year Venice shocked the world. The Fourth Crusade arrived unable to pay for the fleet Venice had built it. The Doge, Enrico Dandolo, over 90 and completely blind, turned debt into leverage. The Crusaders would pay by capturing what Venice pointed at. First, a rebellious port, then Constantinople. The greatest Christian city on earth was stormed, sacked, and carved up, and Venice took, in its own words, 1/4 and 1/2 of the Roman Empire. The harbors, the islands, the trade routes. The 4 bronze horses hauled home to the basilica said the rest. It was outrageous, profitable, and never forgiven. For a century and a half, Venice fought a mirror of itself. Genoa, the other merchant republic, just as rich, just as ruthless. 4 wars, fought with fleets from Constantinople to the lagoon itself. In 1379, Genoa did the unthinkable, captured Chioggia inside the lagoon and blockaded Venice at home. The Republic armed everyone, melted plate into coin, promised nobility to commoners who funded galleys, and counter-blockaded the blockaders. Genoa's trapped fleet surrendered in 1380. Genoa never truly recovered. Venice barely broke stride. The lagoon had done what it was founded to do: be unconquerable. Behind the pageantry, Venice ran the most watchful government in Europe. The Council of Ten and its 3 state inquisitors handled security with quiet efficiency. Stone lions' mouths on public walls swallowed anonymous denunciations. Though less famously, unsigned accusations were largely ignored by law. Venice invented the permanent embassy and required returning ambassadors to file relazioni. Systematic intelligence reports Europe's courts envied. And when plague came, Venice answered with a number: 40 days of isolation for arriving ships, 40 giorni. Quarantine is a Venetian word. So is arsenal. So is ghetto. Coined in 1516 when the city confined its Jewish community to one walled island. The original ghetto, invented here too. Trade brought materials. Venice added secrets. Glass. The furnaces were exiled to Murano Island, officially for fire safety, actually for secrecy, and master glassmakers were forbidden to emigrate on pain of pursuit. Murano's mirrors and crystal were a state-guarded technology monopoly. Printing. Within decades of Gutenberg, Venice became the printing capital of Europe. Aldus Manutius invented italic type and cheap portable classics, the ancestor of the paperback. Silk, spices, soap, sugar refining, every luxury of the age passed through, and Venice took its cut of each. Then geography betrayed the geographic marvel. 1453. The Ottomans took Constantinople, and Venice's eastern web began to fray, island by island, in war after war. 1498. Vasco da Gama sailed around Africa to India, and the spice road through Venice's sea became optional. 1509. Nearly all of Europe united in the League of Cambrai, specifically to destroy Venice, and at Agnadello, its mainland empire collapsed in a day, recovered later, but the fright never faded. The Republic pivoted. More land, more farms, more palaces on the Grand Canal. The merchant fleet slowly becoming a memory. Venice declined for 300 years, in the most glamorous way imaginable. It won the Great Sea Battle of Lepanto in 1571 and still lost Cyprus at the table. It held Crete against a 21-year siege and lost it anyway in 1669. And as the trade shrank, the city sold what remained, itself. Carnival stretched to half the year. Masks made every visitor anonymous. The world's aristocrats came for the opera, the casinos, the painters who sold them souvenir views of the city. The state grew old, its nobility grew poor, its navy grew quaint. But the show never faltered. The end came without a battle. In 1797, Napoleon, mopping up Austria in Italy, decided the neutral, toothless republic was in his way. "I will be an Attila for the Venetian state," he warned. As French troops ringed the lagoon, the Great Council met one last time, voted the republic out of existence, and dissolved itself. The last Doge handed his ducal cap to a servant with the words, "Take it, we shall not need it again." 1100 years ended by a show of hands. The bronze horses were carted to Paris. Napoleon traded the city to Austria within months, like a used asset. So, what was Venice? A state that behaved like a corporation. The nobility were shareholders, the Great Council the general meeting, the Doge a CEO on the world's strictest contract, the empire a logistics network, the arsenal the factory, the ducat the brand. Its true legacy isn't marble, it's vocabulary and technique. Quarantine, arsenal, ghetto, the ducat's stable money, the bond market, the resident ambassador, venture-style contracts. Every trading city since, Amsterdam, London, Singapore, New York, is running some version of Venice's software. The Republic died in 1797. The operating system never did.